Alright, I thought I was going to wait for viewer input, but since I stopped recording this last night, or rather yesterday afternoon, it's been slowly gnawing in the back of my brain. I uploaded everything. I hadn't made the first video public yet. It's just been slowly nagging at me, the whole concept of how am I going to solve this? How am I going to fix this? How am I going to derail the runaway Sejong? And I decided I simply would not wait. I am going to attempt to solve this problem myself. Damn it, I have kicked this game's ass up and down. You know, I'm just like a part-time ass kicker for Civilization 5. Pick it up so many years ago, and then, you know, I get the job done. It's amazing how I'm only producing 40 culture right now. On turn 350. So horrible culture output, and that's even with me getting this. I'd have more culture per turn if, maybe I should have ended up buying one of those pagodas after all. Or rather, monastery after all. I can't see myself getting a pagoda. I could have bought a monastery earlier. Let's just go ahead and see something out of this. I don't have any wine or incense. Let's just see something. Just see something, anything. Like, that gives us extra faith anyway. Perhaps I should have done it. It would have been more intelligent, but I didn't. I'd really like the Eiffel Tower as well, but I'm not going to see a great engineer for practically ever. And that's courtesy of the fact there's a minus 33% penalty on generating them. Yeah, it's kind of rough. Taking a look around, I'm in negative happiness. That's courtesy of the fact that I'm in civil resistance right now. I don't produce a whole lot of culture. And I am getting pressured. I need more order people, basically. Like, if the Mayans went order, that would be great. But I'm deeply concerned that they're not going to. I don't produce a whole lot of tourism. You know, I don't have a whole lot of culture going for me. I can't even get any theming bonuses. I don't have a single wonder. Like an actual big people wonder. I still don't have the national epic at turn 350. There's a lot of things I'm going to have to do in sacrifice. And I just need to accept that I'm gonna have to get this damn job done. Okay, so we're finally gonna hook up our iron by, like, turn 359. Of course, it's too late to utilize these in the game. Submarines would be pretty useful in clearing out the naval power and slowly trying to whittle away at Korea. They have artillery in their cities. Seoul is very well defended. He doesn't have flight yet, but by the time I get over there with anything, he's definitely going to have flight. Now, what am I going to get over there with him? What am I going to use rather to get over there? It's going to be battleships. Missile cruisers are the battleship upgrade, and they don't require anything, but missile cruisers are so far in the future. So far in the future. There's a possibility that I might nuke him and teach myself nuclear weaponry usage, which I don't really have much in familiarity with. Regardless, I want to get this job done. I aspire to accomplishing this. I would very much enjoy and relish the prospect of thumping Korea without much in the way of help. And that's going to involve building a military. So let me take a look at all these cues as I remind myself what's transpiring everywhere. Public school here. Aqueduct is coming up here. Okay. Zoo, public school. I spent a lot of money and resources getting myself that settler. Do I settle it for the 4 oil? If I'm going to attack with battleships, and it will be a small fleet of battleships. It'll be so small. And yes. And what I can do, rather than pick on Korea, like his capital, Seoul, is pick on his smaller cities that won't be that powerful. It'll send my trade network to hell. It won't be a quick war at all. It'll be so long and brutal and painful. But I just can't make good use out of this aluminum. And we just don't have more oil around here. There might be something in the fog that would allow me to see extra oil. Like, there might be extra oil out there. I just can't fathom where it is. I'm still not going to settle that city, though. I can get a workboat out and get that job done at any time. I do have refrigeration now. I'm really not going to be able to steal anything else in this game. Potential has been gutted. Just the way it is. And I'm currently monitoring the Mayans because I really don't have anything else to do. I am in the tech lead versus anyone who's not Korea. If this were a non-Korean game, like Sejong were not here, I'd have tech superiority, and I could leverage that into kicking the AI's ass. You know, I could maybe turtle up and cheese space, or I could thump these cities that aren't well protected, and maybe I'll end up going after these cities anyway. Like, there's 4 oil there, there's 7 oil right there. I can attempt to leverage the small army small navy that I can build here, and try to take these cities and build up my power base. At the very least, the Celts' capital will reduce some of the horrendous pressure I've got on me. They'll have dyes. They've got a crab there. I can try to make something happen. But the greatest threat here is Sejong. And I'm really challenging my knowledge that is, admittedly, you know, sparse about Brave New World. I'm not very well prepared about fighting in a very late war game. I don't have that much experience with Brave New World. I've just been able to coast based on prior experience with Civ 5. Most of my... How many hours has it been? I can't check them for whatever reason, just due to the way things are looking, I guess. There we go, 305. Most of my 305 hours are in the base Civ 5 game before Gods and Kings. It's worth keeping in mind. Okay. You have gold to trade? You're willing to trade that? You're actually willing to make a 1-for-1 trade for that? I will buy that for 9 gold per turn. I'm glad I noticed that. Okay. That puts me in happiness. York has a higher population than my capital. I'm not surprised. Perhaps I should have farmed up some of these mines for the extra food. That is a consideration. Well, I didn't. I need to do a lot of things, but at least I have a game plan now. I've got my wits about me. I am certainly more awake than what I was towards the end of last session. Another antiquity site out there. Why don't we actually check this list as well? Because this is something I haven't been doing. I've just been shuttling everything straight out of London, and that's naughty. That is very irresponsible of me. Instead of actually checking and changing home cities. That's something that I thought of this morning, and I went, God, I'm such a fool. That is so irresponsible on my part, not checking to see what the most gold would be. And I am not going to be going to war with Korea within the next 45 turns. Unfortunately. Research agreements continue to be signed without me. I only have 2 friends in this whole wide world. And I'm waiting for him to actually catch up to my era. You know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. Bite the bullet, Grimith. 1 gold per turn? 2 gold per turn. Need the research agreements. Stop being so fussy about it. I spent so much gold buying that Gatling gun. I should have... So many errors when I think back about it. That is one disadvantage to me going, I want to see what happens next, is that I'm not exactly my most aware. Like crap like this, where I could be getting so much more gold per turn if I just paid attention to the best trade routes that were available. It's bad gameplay on my part. And mistakes like those, like, I think I ended last video yesterday with like, I don't know, I could have played better. Well, I certainly could have played better by making more intelligent decisions, like actually paying attention to what would net me to most value in a trade route, and I simply never did. And that's bad gameplay on my part. I have no excuse. Poor decision making, and this entire playthrough has been littered with poor decision making. Civ 5, with its lack of challenge, has definitely been encouraging sloppy gameplay on my part. And since I'm putting the screws to myself, I am forcing myself to get better at the game. And I am finding myself sorely lacking in this series. We're getting close to 400 science. It's not the worst thing. We've certainly fought our way up to be effective from a science perspective, which is something I take pride in. The fact that I managed to close this gap. And it was a terrible gap. Let's get a market here. Yeah, let's get a market here. I'm really thinking about a barracks, though. I'm thinking barracks. Let's get a barracks. Or stadium? I could use the extra happiness. I can't refute that. Barracks. You... Yes. Let's work together. You're not at the bottom. I could definitely use as much assistance as possible. Any number of research agreements I can get to try and close this infernal gap with Sejong. Now, perhaps I should have hard researched electronics and then grabbed plastics through, you know, Oxford. That would afford me the opportunity to get the research labs more quickly than what I will be. I can't refute that. As much as I'd like to. I haven't used my gold that well. Spend it on frivolous things? Yes. Well, go ahead and get that. I should have prompted you for that myself. Pakal is most likely plotting against me. I'm not surprised at all. And, yeah. It's going to be a concern. Trust me, I'm definitely concerned. At least I got this hill. That'll give me a little bit of production over here in York, you know. That's long overdue. Go ahead and, you know, I don't want the city to grow that fast. Let's go ahead and pop that into the public school there. And make a barracks here? Yeah, make a barracks here. Maybe a market instead. I am getting some trade routes out of here. No, a barracks. I need to prepare myself for building military units to complete this whole thing. I'm still camping over here in this. I still don't feel comfortable building a city there yet. Let's go ahead and, yes, I have no slots available for great works of art. It is true. Alright, 48 culture per turn. I'm actually getting somewhat respectable culture now. This is amazing. I've got happiness things. I'm going to be getting more happiness things. I'll go ahead and protect this spot with the warrior. You know, my only military unit. I mean, I have a scout. I have a trireme. They're things, I guess. They technically exist. I'm really angry at myself for my inattentiveness in assigning those trade routes so poorly. There's no excuse on how poorly I played the situation. None. Okay, that's electronics. That gives me access to battleships. Of course I can't build them until I actually get some oil in me. Now, out of curiosity, Kathy, you don't have any oil to trade me. Out of curiosity, Pakal, you would trade me some oil. That can save me from building a cruddy city. I would be highly dependent on Pakal, though, to not kill me. I also don't have an opera house for a great musician. That's tough. Let's go ahead and build it. I would love that Eiffel Tower so much. I'd have to hard build it. Is it worth it? I can't rely on being able to get that. Can't rely on it. Go to sleep. Okay. Best trade route I'm not currently working. That's London to Moscow. Was that the trade route you were on? No. It's the trade route you're on now. Friendly trade routes are being plundered. I could certainly stand to get some more cargo ships. Maybe I should do that instead of working on the barracks so much. Let's go ahead and get a cargo ship. 8 turns. That's rough. I would love to work more. I'd love to grow the city more. I am... Holy shit, I went plummeting into unhappiness again. That's got to be due to culture. It's because someone picked a, the Mayans adopted autocracy, and that killed me. That killed my happiness. Minus 20. Korea's the big dog around here. And I so needed to match up. The only person who's able to prop me up is Korea. And they're just not able to do that good of a job on it. Considering all the pressure I'm getting, 5 from the 5 for autocracy and 4 for freedom. I can't flip. I mean, I would get some of the happiness back. I would also get penalties from other people, though. And I would lose all the tenets I've adopted. I'm gonna have to make this work. The best way to resolve this issue is by eliminating pressure. "43 turns, huh? We just declared that not too long ago. Oh, that's rough. I wouldn't be able to attack them for a long while. The Celts would probably be the individuals I picked on. I've got to prop up my society so that we stop experiencing a revolutionary wave. This is the problem of putting culture on the back burner for so long. I end up in a situation like this. It's pretty rough. The city, I really can't afford city growth, so don't worry about it. Don't grow. At least we finally got our iron. Hey, is anyone interested in buying iron? You are. Well, we might as well sell it. Every little bit helps. 67 gold per turn. Neat. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. Ideology adopted. Order. Okay. Well, that doesn't make it worse for me, then. Because China is certainly better off than I am. That doesn't make it worse. Okay. Yeah, all these hills that I'm just not working. At least they afford me an opportunity to do some serious production here when it's all said and done. The city is technically growing. Wink, wink. Might, I don't have any other slots to really pop out people, but I also need that culture per turn. International games and world ideology freedom. That's just insulting. Well, that's what I get for putting the Celts in charge. I think that's who I have in charge. Yes. Glad to hear it, China. We can be friends. That time will come. One day you'll see. When we can. Oh, it's nice to actually have gotten a faith building, you know, after all this time. I could have done better with those two. Oh, goody. Goody. Goody, 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 goody. I might pick up Scientific Revolution after all. It might not be so bad after all. Everything might be coming together for me after all. I'm slowly closing the gap after all, but I did just use my Oxford to do it. Okay. Don't panic, just make smarter decisions, Grimith. That's what I'm doing. Smarter decisions. Okay. That great engineer I'm going to be... great scientist I'm going to be getting, I'm probably going to bulb him. Maybe do that finally? Nah, don't bother. Museum instead. Seaworks? Actually, Seaport wouldn't be so bad. Maybe finally get a workboat on that tile? Maybe just build workboats in general. So, you know, it all gets pillaged whenever I go to war. Bitter Grimith. Yeah, I've gone too long in this game without building workboats. Let's go ahead and try to get that done. That would improve my tile yields. Just part of the reason why one of the reasons I dislike building them is that, you know, it consumes like an entire unit. And also, the yields are pretty nice, even without having, you know, use your words, Grimith. Words are not coming to me right now. The yields are pretty nice without having a workboat. International games. I want this. I'm gonna assume... Alright, I put Kathy in charge. That everyone else will hate this so much that they'll shoot it down. And one interesting thing about the lack of city-states here... Of course, no one went patronage to grab the Forbidden Palace. Like, there's no city-state votes that can really swing things. We're all equal except for the person I made host. Which is really interesting. I'm gonna assume everyone else will shoot... Well, pretty much everyone else will shoot that world ideology thing down. That'd be really awkward otherwise. And I voted for international games because I'd like to see that go through. And I'll only want the bronze reward for that. Oh. Oh. Really? Wow. Wow. That's what I get. Maybe all the other AIs assumed someone would vote no. Normally whenever a hot, like, flash, like, proposal is made like that, it attracts so much ire from everyone else that they'll just, like, stamp their nose all over it. But you've got so many votes here from AIs who do not have, that ideology. Babylon, of course, didn't have any ideology, so they really didn't have any horse, and they can just go freedom. But France has autocracy, and they just said, yeah, sure, fuck it. Wow. That's terrible. The world ideology is now freedom. That's terrible. That gives Kathy and Boudica more votes. That's terrible. Huh. Welp, that's a thing that happened. I assumed it was gonna be international games that didn't see much love. That'd probably be a situation where if I was playing on my own, I'd fucking reload. That's terrible. Ooh, that's so bad. That's bad news bears for me. Okay. Take care of Nottingham to Moscow. Nottingham to Beijing is open, so I should grab that. Just kind of shaking my head in disbelief. Well, that'll teach me. Huh. I got nothing. I got nothing. Other than the fact that that happened. Different eras and from civilizations other than the city owner. So I can trade both of my great works here away. Let's get something from you, medieval, and trade my Renaissance thing. And then let's get your industrial and trade my modern thing. That gives me a theming bonus. Alright, every little bit helps. I'm still at the bottom of the list, though. I'm still in revolutionary wave hell. Ugh. Wow. Huh. I had nothing.
Здравствуй.
That was terrible.
Говори.
I bet you're happy though, Kathy. I can't fault you. I can't fault you for making that choice. Would have tried to do the same thing. Wow. I learned something new about the game today. I didn't think there was any way in hell that would go through. If they really cared about the international games, by the way, I should work on that. You know, since I wanted it through and all, let's go ahead and, I only want the bronze reward. Let's actually see whether the AIs will really even want the international games at all. Like, so many of them voted yes. But, let's see how much of a hammer sink that actually is for them. Because I don't want it that bad. I mean, I'm kind of interested in it, but not that much. Because there's no city-states on the board. Alright, gold per turn is less than rubbish now, which is pretty sweet. Gives me some gold to play around with and do some things. Which is not bad at all. I'm gonna keep on. Keep that. That's cool. I should go ahead and spend that on research agreements. I forgot. No. Fucking 24,000 gold. Damn AI not spending their money. They're so bad with that. I had to get a mod just to make sure they actually spent their shit appropriately. Bad AI. Like the things I could do with that kind of money. Alright. 4 research agreements incoming. Let's go ahead and grab that. Yeah. Let's go ahead and grab that. I think that's the right call. Okay. I need you to work that tile and forego some production of the process. We're getting minus 12% hammers, courtesy of our immense unhappiness. It might be severe enough that I'll start buying a zoo or some other happiness things, like workshops. I know factories give me a little bit of happiness. Settle a city just to build a fucking monument so I can get the happy from that. Now that's insane. Maybe not that crazy. Gold per turn is so sad. Alright. What's my best available route? Look at me being intelligent, guys. You know, this would be impressive if I was actually this intelligent, you know, sooner. It's actually a decent argument to trade with Soul for the 4 Beakers. And just throw a few gold per turn out the window. Canterbury to Soul, huh? These Beakers don't matter so much now because of how late in the game it is. But every little bit can help. I really need another hill. I've got so much possible production here. Turn 1. Yeah, we'll just go to 540. We'll just let that be a hammer sink for the AIs. Someone will get that free social policy and the extra tourism. And it'll suck. China has fighters? Not surprised. She has flight. It's kind of a thing that happens. I don't have much in the way of anything. Looks like I changed my plans on the fly, the concept of attacking Korea. Because the game situation has changed. These are a lot of hills. I probably should have farmed some of these things. I mean, they'd still just give me, like, they'd give me, like, 2 food and 2 hammers instead of 2 food and 2 signs. I could just leave them alone. That's a fair thought. Like, I just trading post them. Like, I don't have enough food here to really work all these tiles, so... Yeah, let's go ahead and stop that. Change my mind. Why don't you... Come over here and get that tile done. And you, like, come over here and do stuff with this tile. We'll just leave those tiles alone. Like, we've got plenty of hills. Like, if I want to go production, I can go production, damn it. These research lads would be pretty nice to get. I really should have focused on them first, huh? No, I can't advocate declaring war on Kathy. If you're gonna attack Sejong, though, I'd be all for that. I'm like, sure, let's kill some shit together. Glad to hear it. Nebi entered Modern Era. That means we can expect to see him pick an ideology. Considering how he voted for world ideology freedom, and maybe someone bought his vote. No, can't do it, Kathy. Yeah, he went freedom. Makes perfect sense. Considering how he voted for it. Well, on the bright side, my happiness cannot get worse than Revolutionary Wave. Like, this is the lowest it can go. Also, I sunk way too many hammers into that. Wasn't paying attention. I'm a terrible person. By purchasing that, I removed some of my penalties from excessive unhappiness. He's getting on a rocket ship and going to space, guys. And there's nothing I can do about it. That is negative thinking, and I don't know how to think more positively about the situation. Atomic bomb? Oh, God. It's gonna take me so long to get there. I do not produce enough science to really bulb that guy and make it satisfactory. He's going to space. He is so going to space. Shit. Shit. Well, see you next time.